episode 3. I'm here back with Ronald Anthony and Jeremy Snowden, and of course me, Justin Rodriguez. So guys, it's Wednesday night. It's after tournament. All of us entered. Jeremy, let's start with you. What did you enter with? What was your results, and what did you think about your matches today?
I entered with Emo Kids. Oh my god, I got wrecked. I did horrible. I got destroyed.
He did.
Oh
I did
god.
too, so don't feel bad.
No, I got fucking... What is it? Got cunning on my Anakin 3 times in a row.
Ouch.
That's 4
like
damage each. So
12
That's 12.
Exactly, so it was not that good. I beat Josh, it's okay.
What decks did you play against?
Yeah, what decks? What were your matchups?
My bad. What was wrong?
You said I think it was against Dennison, I believe.
Oh, round 1 was against Andrew. He was playing Ankar, Bala, Royal Guard.
No, Night Sister.
Night Sister,
It was a
sorry.
nice, yeah.
It was a close match. He got it. Round 2, I played against Qui-Gon, Padawan, Rey, and he won. I don't remember how.
Yeah, you weren't rolling too good from what I saw.
Round 3 I played against Josh. He played Django FN. Got that ass. It was a close match. I'm not gonna lie. Then round 4, that was Omar. I don't want to talk about it.
What deck was he was playing the Chewbacca.
What deck was Omar playing?
Akbar.
Chewbacca Akbar. And he cunning special every time.
Yeah, so he got completely destroyed. I wouldn't.
And what was your record?
1-3.
1-3? Oh,
Hey,
okay.
he topped last week. So.
All right, yeah, so,
I got lucky last week.
Yeah.
yeah, you sure did. All right, Ron. All
right.
How did you do in the tournament? What were you playing with, and what were your matchups like?
All right. Well, I played Vader Raider because we got our second Vader. So like, hey, let's use Vader Raider. And I'm just like, don't we use guard? In hindsight, I should have used guard. But that's
you were going back and forth on what to do there.
Yeah, so I eventually chose with guard because of the removal and because you can resolve the Tusken Raider pretty quick. The first round was against the Chewbacca Akbar that destroyed Jeremy. I had him dead to rights, and then he had 3 cards left in deck. He played a second chance, and then he had a second chance drawn again. And then, like, before the final turn, he had a, Planetary Uprising.
Oh,
he played another
Jeremy's
one.
favorite card.
Yeah, so he had both Planetary Uprisings. Vader was at 10, and the Raider was at, 7. So, like, all he had to do was claim. So I'm just like, well, there's no point in me continuing. So he won, and I was kind of annoyed. Round 2, I played against Padme Rey, and I won rather easily. And, yeah. And then round 3, I played against what did I play against? It was round 3. Round 3 was against Jabba Unkar, and I got milled out because Vader Raider, at least the build I had, it was meant to just do damage, and then control with you
didn't get so lucky.
No, because like he kept discarding everything, and I couldn't, and he had like blackmail fast hands and. It wasn't too fun. There was little to no interaction at all.
And how about your last match? Me and Jeremy were watching your last match against Cornelius, and you guys were like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna play it out. We don't care about the tournament anymore."
Yeah.
So you guys are playing for pride.
Yeah, he was playing Dooku double guard, so he had 1 dice on each.
Oh, nice.
And it was actually pretty good because
wait, 1 Dooku die?
Yeah, 1 Dooku die and 2 guards.
Oh, okay.
He pretty much just kept giving Dooku Holocron plus Force ability, and the guards just guardian everything. Kind of like, I did like Makashi training on the Raider, rolled in, had some damage. He just kept guardianing, and then any damage Vader got, he guardian too. So it's like I had to kill the guards first because I couldn't hit Dooku at all. 6 damage. The guardian is just gonna regarding Dooku.
Yeah. Guardian is a little annoying.
Yeah, so it got down to like our last few cards, and he just did lethal damage to kill Vader.
Yeah, I mean you had mitigation in your hand, but you couldn't get rid of it because it was your last card.
And no, it was isolation, so I couldn't do much. He had 2 Force Lightnings.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And no, I did Rise Again twice, and I could just every time I would roll like damage was like we were in a damage recession for that. So I lost. So I went 1-3. This is actually the first time since I started playing that I went 1-3.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we went negative.
The first tournament I won it 1-3. So yeah, it's a nice kick in the nuts. But in hindsight, I should have used guard. The guardian would have done very well, and it was fine. Like I out of all the matches, the one I had the most fun was the last one. The other matches I didn't.
Yeah, you seem to enjoy it a whole lot.
Yeah, because I like matches that like are back and forth like that. It's not I'll mill you out and leave you no options, or planetary uprising dot deck into which all you have to do is claim for the game, or play against someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Which to me that doesn't count. If I beat someone that's new or doesn't know what they're doing, I kind of don't count because like they're new, like they're still learning. So it's like it's mostly like whatever. So I did 1-3, but it's not about us. It's about you, Mr. Undefeated. Mr. 4-0. What did you how were your matches and what did you play against? Emperor.
Well, I always Papa Palpatine, make the galaxy great again. I went 4-0. My round one was up against Josh. He's playing FN Django. I was actually pretty close to death. The first time before I killed FN, Palpatine was pretty low on health, and I rolled out, and I had damage showing, and then he rolled out FN, and I was like, okay. FN was at 6 health, I believe. Yeah, he was at 6, and I just needed to do 5 to kill him. Or how much health does FN have?
11.
11?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I needed to do 5 to kill him.
Django has 10 and FN has 11.
So I no mercied FN to kill him because the dice that he rolled out was just way too much damage. I would not have lived had I not done that. So I killed him, and then the next round I did rise again. I needed to heal. Actually, no, I rose again before I did all that stuff, and then all was left was me against Django. Django had 2 damage on him. That's it. I rolled out. He responded with Django, and he goes. He went bait and switch, did 4 damage, and then goes friends in low places. And then I was sweating bullets. I had 2 targets in the hand. One was deflect. The other one was premonitions. At the very beginning of the round, I did premonitions. I put rise again face down, and if I draw it, and I use it when I can. And he got rid of the deflect and not the premonitions. And as soon as like that whole sequence was happening, I was listening to music. And for all the Naruto fans out there, I was listening to Orochimaru's theme. Shut up, you fucking weeb.
You're the weeb. Oh, Orochimaru, Naruto.
I hate him, but whatever. So the point is, I was listening to Orochimaru's theme, and it was just perfect timing for that whole little thing. So I got a good laugh out of it. My round 2 was against. My round 2 was against Joe Mama, also known as Joe. He was playing a very interesting deck that I'm actually really want to make now. It's Uncard and Double TIE Pilot. It's the deck. I like the idea of it. I really like the build and what he's trying to do with it. It's just he didn't draw what he needed to draw, and he was just rolling not so great.
Yeah, because that deck's a ramp deck. And he was getting ATSTs and Slave 1s pretty quick. So.
Yeah, I seen him do it a few times, but against me, all he did was bring out a Slave 1, and then the very next turn, I had game.
No, yeah, you kept rolling 3.
Yeah, I literally rolled 3.
So you're doing like 5 damage.
On one of his dice was a 3 every single time I rolled out. I don't know what the hell happened.
I mean, I'd be pretty annoyed. Like, can you not roll the 3?
There was a 3.
And yeah, he played Friends in High Places, and the only card he was able to get some use out of it was a rocket launcher, and all the other 5 was all mitigation. So he milled straight up mitigation, and was only able to use one
Yeah.
card out of that.
With that deck, you're hoping to get like the ATST or Slave
Yeah.
1 or some big card that's like.
And then my round 3 was up against what was my round 3? Oh, against Emo Kids, and it's against one of the new players. I don't remember his name, but that was also a very close game. I killed Anakin pretty quickly. He put 8 damage into me, like
I saw that
at the end of round 2 or 3.
Yeah, pelvic thrust.
He pelvic thrusted the shit out of Palpatine. And he goes, I had only one upgrade on Palpatine. It was a Mind Probe. And I was able to put Kylo at 8 damage. He put 2 shields on Kylo. And I go, roll out. I rolled 2 discards from Palpatine's die and the 3-for-1 gun. And Palpatine only needed to get 2 hits into him and he was dead. So I was sitting there for a few minutes. I'm doing math. I'm like, okay, if I do this, this, and this, he needs to do this. And I was like, wait a minute, we're on Emperor's Throne Room. I just claimed do 5 damage and I win. So that's exactly what I did, and I got the win there.
Isn't it great when you realize things? And it's like, hey, I can do this.
Yeah, you invest all this time into
thinking,
strategic planning.
Like you think too much. It's like, oh,
and it's just
I have this, I win.
Answer's right there. And my round 4 was against Malcolm. He was playing Unkar Jabba.
Yeah, that was a Jabba Unkar.
Yeah, and everyone was saying, "Oh, Crime Lord," and I said, if I get Crime Lord, I will cry.
Yep, I want to see him cry.
And Joe said he'll get it on camera, and I said that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, we've done that for like a little video intro to the podcast, like seeing you cry.
And right? Yeah, no, for sure.
Would have been great.
Hell yeah. Put that shit on the Facebook group. He goes, Jabba had the fast hands. I was able to discard the Crime Lord out of his hand.
Oh, lucky
one Crime Lord out of his hand. And then he was able to get the second one, and he played the second one on Jabba. And after he played the Crime Lord on Jabba, I rolled out, I had damage showing, and he decided to do 1/4 portion instead of rolling out Jabba. And to be perfectly honest, he was contemplating on what to do. For him, that was a safe bet because No Mercy got me that win. And there was no way of knowing that he had No Mercy because Jabba was at 5 health and Unkar only had 3 hits on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him if I was in this situation, I would have just activated Jabba and try to get the Crime Lord.
Yeah.
But that's because I knew what I had in my hand. If I was in his situation, I would have done the same exact thing. But yeah, so that's how my rounds went, and yeah. But Ron, you said something really interesting earlier. You said something introducing new players to the game. Now, lately we've been getting like 2-3 people, new players into this game.
Yeah.
How do you feel that in order to get them into this game, they need to have fun. They need to like how the game plays, like the concept of it and everything. Mm-hmm. Do you think how the meta is now and how competitive people are doing now, like if it's just a casual play, people will make fun decks. But if it's something like a weekly tournament or a monthly or a store championship, whatever it is, and these first timers go up against Pomas, emo kids, how do you guys feel like you can what you can do to keep them into this game, to keep them interested in playing, and to get more people involved in Star Wars Destiny?
Well, the first thing we should do for new players is, get them started in the game. Don't have them buy a tournament deck and then enter, because I've seen some people that have entered where they just get they spend the money on the deck, they learn the rules kind of, and they just enter and they're like, oh, I'll do fine because I saw this deck online and I made it. And then when they don't lose, they're just like, how is this possible? Just the biggest tip I can give someone is, first, get one of the starter decks. Don't just buy a tournament deck because they're like $10 or whatever, or 15. They're like 10 or 15 bucks. They come with the rules, learn the rules, get a hang of the game first, because the last thing you want to do is just invest in something and then when you get your ass kicked by something very competitive, it'll turn away. It's like, oh, I bought this thing in this game was like this, and I got destroyed by this, and it turns them off to it. So just get a starter deck, whichever one, build from there, and then once you've been playing for a little bit, it's like, all right, I think I want to make this, enter the weekly tournament a few times,
make them more familiar with how
and like
the meta is,
and like in tournaments you're gonna play the meta. Even casual, try and play against some of the meta.
Yeah, like
so you get familiar with how to play against it, because the problem with a lot of players is when they're playing against like Pomaz or like some meta deck, they don't really play against a whole lot, so they don't know really how to mitigate or how to go up against it properly. So pretty much what I would do is get a starter deck and learn the rules, learn how cards interact, get a feel for the game, love the game, and then find a deck that fits you regardless of what it is. Enter some tournaments, get some, competitive, not just play but feedback from other players who've been playing for a while. Ask them, hey, should I do this? I like this card, but I feel it's a little too slow, or just ask questions.
Not only that, the new players can also ask at their locals, the other Star Wars Destiny players that play at their local, about Facebook groups, because I know we're in a Facebook group.
Down in Florida, in South Florida, we have our own Facebook group. So anytime someone's like, "Oh, I need this card," or "Do you think this idea is good?" or "Do you want to do this?" or whatever, like you just ask there. So like, Facebook groups are great. Like if you have like a small group of people that play, like make a Facebook group, make some group chat, whatever, like communicate, and that's pretty much it. Like just get a starter deck, learn the game, love the game, learn the rules properly. Get a feel for the game. Don't just jump in with the deck. Like, don't see someone playing Pomaz, invest all that money into the deck
and not know how to play
it. Because that's not just with this game, but it's a lot of other card games where a deck is meta and someone just buys a deck and they think they're going to win just because of the deck. Because no matter what, the deck doesn't play itself. There has to be a person playing it, so you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah. So, Jeremy, what are your thoughts about introducing new players to the game and keeping them there? Because we've been playing since I want to say March. Does that sound accurate to you guys? March. February.
Late January or February. We didn't get competitive until like March. So.
We've been playing since February, and you've been playing like it's still your day one.
Kinda.
Go to hell.
What? Maybe later. What do you feel like what would you like to see to keep new players in this game?
I say no overpowered cards because if
as a casual play, or
pretty much simple decks. They need to introduce simple decks. Like the new guys playing emo kits. Like any monkey can play that deck. It's simple.
But that's what you play.
Yeah, you taught it last week for the first time ever. So
that's basically it. But exactly what y'all say, pretty much.
Yeah, and
talk to the veteran players, and don't immediately start playing tournaments because you'll get frustrated and get wrecked.
Yeah. Yeah, and another thing that I should point out is like they shouldn't try and promote like a store championship or a monthly as like a casual experience, because for here the Wednesday tournaments are like the casual things. Because the thing that I saw when they started doing store championships is FFG actually promoted it as it'll be just like a casual whatever, come and play, have some fun, win some prizes, and then when the casual players go in. And then they find out the hard way that it's not.
And they go 0-3 in a 2 rounds.
Because they go in there like, I might not top, but I'll get like some entry cards and I'll have some fun. Not only did they not have fun, but they just got destroyed by whatever the meta is. So, like, promote things as competitive and promote other things as casual. Don't say one thing's casual and then someone goes and they find out the hard way it's not. The store championships are not casual. Well, everybody's there to win.
I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because what I want to talk about next is casual players, players that are new to the game, that haven't been in any that aren't as experienced as us and the other locals, people that go down to Cool Stuff Games, South Florida. Are casual players or casual/new players being turned off to the game due to the format? because the other day someone put up a post in the Facebook group that they feel like they do better outside the tournament than
Yeah,
they
I see
do
that too.
versus
Like, not just that, but I see it.
versus just a game for fun. Like, do you think people take things way too seriously when it's especially one of the not even the veteran players, just anybody in general, like even to a new person that doesn't fully understand the rules, that doesn't fully understand the how the mechanics work, like vibral knives plus maybe two other dice that's showing melee damage being resolved, and Force Illusion can't block it, and they don't understand why.
Yeah.
How do you feel like not only local game stores, but the veteran players and the non-casual players can do to keep them from being turned off from this game?
Well, because like you said, like the one thing that's turned people off is like the highly competitive nature. But you can't. The one thing that I agree that some tournaments shouldn't be as competitive as others, but then again, you can't shut off the whole competitive aspect
Yeah.
of it. Just expecting everybody to like, oh, I don't like this. Like
You
it's not
can
the
be
same thing, but it's
competitive,
like,
but you can't be too competitive. You can't be a dick about it.
yeah, because like, at
Yeah,
our,
Jeremy's
like,
nodding his head.
like at our locals, like when someone plays a new player, like they don't like be over competitive and it's like, oh, I'm gonna destroy this guy. That's a free win. Like it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh or some other game where it's like, oh, I know this is a new play. I can use the rules against them. Like they don't know this, and I can just exploit it and then win. In this game, because our community's not, they're not dicks. They're not asshole people. Like everybody
at all.
tries to help each other. Like everybody tries to have fun. So like to keep casual players in, not having them turned off, is just when it comes down to, like the whole Viber Knife thing. Like just explain to them why like interactions. Like if they don't understand something, then teach them. Tell them why this is the way it is. Because if you don't teach them and you don't explain to them what's going on, they'll keep making the same mistake over and over again. And back to the whole like store championship thing, casual players were turned off from that because they were promoted as casual.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go in there thinking it's going to be a casual event, and it turns out everybody's being super competitive and wanting to win,
Yeah.
it takes the fun away. Because when you're super competitive, you lose that fun because all you're doing is winning. And winning's fine, but if you're not having fun, because there are some times where I won where it didn't feel fun. Like either I destroyed someone, or the game was slow, or there was like no interaction, or it was just a boring game. Because there are times in casual and tournaments where the rounds are just completely boring, and you want to just fall asleep. So,
Jeremy, this has happened to you quite a few times over the past few months. You've been not like happy with the way your deck has been performing. Like you played Jin Akbar and you loved the deck. You were doing fine with the deck, but you enter tournament and you have the guy to his one card left in his deck or in his hand, and he discards it to reroll his dice, and he rolls perfect damage that he needed to win. It's just little things like that upset you. It will upset anybody, to be honest. But what? How do you feel about that? Like, if you're a new player and that happened to you, you put your time and effort into this deck, and you literally are one turn away from game, and you just lose because of dumb luck. And you scrap the deck because you too frustrated with it. Do you feel like if casual players enter tournaments and they go up against Pomaz, Raider Vader, Emo Kids, fucking Palpatine, FN plus anybody, like they will have the worst time of their life?
Yes.
elaborate.
That's what I like about this game is those are the best decks, but they're not unbeatable. They can still lose. You just need to get good.
Like a wise man once said, no matter how strong the opponent, there's always a weakness.
Yeah, because like
Itachi Uchiha.
we're not bringing that word trash into this, but to more elaborate on what Jeremy said, is you have to get good. You have to. You can't just expect to just win. You have to actually know what you're doing half the time. Excuse me. But also you have to understand that in that instance of what happened to Jeremy, it's like for a dice game, it's luck based. You can't expect,
especially because it's dice.
yeah, like you can make the best deck in the world, but your dice have to cooperate with you, and if they don't cooperate with you, then you're pretty much have to go a plan B or just get destroyed. Because the one thing about this game is like any deck can win. Like even like non-meta decks can beat the top meta decks. It just depends on how well you play, how smart you play, and of course how you manage your resources and how you roll. Because you can have you have A, B, C, and D, but if E doesn't go right, everything else goes down the toilet. So.
All right, and one last thing before we head off, in the Facebook group that we are in, the first Hokage Cornelius put up a post saying that he wants to do a team-based tournament, 2v2, and the pairings, the teammates will be completely random for everyone that enters. How do you guys? What do you guys think about that? And how do you think it will go?
Well, I think it's a good idea because people don't really know, but like you can have a multi-man game, like because me and Jeremy we played with Joe and one time in a 3-man game. You can have like 3 or 4 people. Like in Magic has like Commander with like 20 people, not that, but you have like 3 or 4 people playing, like have like a free for all. And for teams, I think it's a good idea. It's just you have to like. Not bend the rules, but change some things around. Like have the core rules, but you have to change certain things because one of the issues that you'll run into is, well, not everybody's gonna run hero decks or villain decks. You're gonna have like because since it's completely random, you're gonna have like let's say me and you Justin get paired up. You play Palutino, I'll play like I don't know, here like Luke Ray or whatever. You can't stop that. But some people have suggested like, oh, mix heroes and villains.
No, you can't.
You cannot. There's a reason why heroes and villains are separate, are segregated. It's because the combination that could come from mixing those are just completely ridiculous. Like, and then there's the argument like, oh, just have non-uniques.
Yeah. What was that we said earlier? Before Obi-Wan dies, do Rise Again.
Yeah, like
like
can you imagine like you do like Obi-Wan dies, you do Rise Again on your other character that's about to die, or whatever. You heal him, you give him some upgrade. So that's just one of the many ridiculous like Jabba Padme. I thought about that the other day and it made me cringe.
I don't want to talk about Ray with Holocron. No.
Put Ray with
Holocron. You go Vibro Knife, Holocron, roll out, 4-speed. Fuck it. Get 2 actions. Resolve Holocron. Give her Force Lightning. You're already. I see a look in your face. You're just having it right now.
Yeah, because like, it's being constructed as we speak. Where the rules are getting flushed out. But I do think that a team-based tournament could work once you get the kinks out. So I think it'll be fun. Honestly, it's a nice change of pace, and it might even bring in new players in. Like it might be a good way of introducing new players.
That's something else I wanted to ask. Do you think that like the team-based tournament will be fun for new players to come in? Like we promote it somewhere, friends to come in, try it out. It's $5 just to hang out with friends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only just because it's way or more experienced than the other players. It's still going to be the first time for everybody doing this, so everyone's going to be basically
like a level playing field, pretty much with this format. And what's good is like everybody's random because you've had somebody like, oh, I choose this guy for my team. If you have the best people paired up, they're gonna defeat a team that's not as good or doesn't have like the best players. So like mixing and matching the teams randomized is perfect.
Jeremy looks like he wanted to say something.
Oh, I think it is much more casual for the new players, especially with friends. And it's like friends in low places. Oh,
in depth.
Oh.
Whatever, Jeremy. Freaking lame ass.
Oh,
But yeah, so I think it's gonna be good.
Oh, that fucking hurt.
Like once they get the kinks out, it'll
Yeah,
be
when-
it'll be a good time.
When everything's finalized and the first Hokage has his ordeal set, we'll
Once the rules are all set.
definitely be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I just want to say thank you for once more doing episode 3. If you guys like it, you always hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment down below on what you want us to talk about next. I'm gonna see if I can try to invest in a good camera, not a cell phone camera, and do some deck profiles, some player thoughts, record some games, good stuff like that. And yeah, so Ron, I want to thank you. Jeremy, you suck, but I want to thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. I'll be here. I'll be here every time. So unless I'm dead.
All right, guys.
So.
This is Justin Rodriguez, Ronald Anthony, and Jeremy Snowden. We will see you guys next time, and remember to always keep the high ground.